Hello and welcome to Woodensled, a channel for intelligent and curious people like you who are searching for humanoid robots, partners, human sexuality in the age of artificial intelligence. I was talking about serial manipulators, open chain mechanisms, and how serial manipulators work in humanoid robots, how the limbs and joints work in humanoid robot with the help of serial manipulators. There are several other mechanisms also, but today we are discussing about serial manipulators only, right? Before we proceed, let me tell you one thing. First, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you have already subscribed, many thanks for your support. It also means a lot to me. I hope in the future I'll get that support from you. And if you like it, please share with your friends. Gives a like, gives a thumbs up, a like button, press the bell icon so that you can get notified when I post my new videos. And finally, I would like to remind you one very important thing. Although I'm talking about sex robots, sexuality, etc., but there is no vulgarity in this channel, and you cannot expect any kind of vulgarity, any kind of vulgar videos or description, explicit description or demonstration, because I'm talking about technical details of humanoid robots, how they work, how it functions, what are the features, etc. In as lucidly as possible, in as simple way as possible, because you know building a robot partner, building a humanoid robot is a very complex task, complex process, and it involves hundreds and thousands of different types of features, different types of tasks, and different types of technical details are there that we need to or try to understand in this channel, through this channel. Now, as we are talking about serial manipulators, I would like to talk about also actuation and control, because each joint of a human robot is actuated by a motor, which in return enables the robot to manipulate its environment and interact with objects like you. Human robot at the end of the day is a machine, and it treats everything as an object, including you, the owner of the humanoid robot. Now, each joint of humanoid robot is equipped with a motor, actually, that controls its movement. These motors can be electric, hydraulic, or pneumatic. We'll make other videos on separate videos on electric, hydraulic, or pneumatic motors, how they work later in the later part of our videos. It depends on the robot's design and requirements. And there are also sensors. Sensors like encoders and gyroscopes provide feedback on the joint positions and velocities. Because in any kind of physically intimate act or where sexuality is concerned, the joint positions and velocities matter a lot, isn't it? Therefore, it allows the robot's controller to precisely calculate and execute desired movements. It's a very complex task, but it takes place through actuation and control. Second thing is inverse kinematics. To achieve a specific position in a sexual act, if you imagine a sexual act, achieve a specific position or orientation of the end effector, usually the hand. It A humanoid robot uses its hand for different purposes. The robot's controller needs to determine the required angles for each joint. It's a very complex process. I remind you that I am telling it in such a way that it happens in a very simple way, but it is not that easy, you know, because it needs to determine the required angles for each joint, in which way it will move. Like if when I move one finger like this or this is a very complex process. and our CPU, that means our brain, processes the whole thing. But there are a lot of other things also, because in each joint, even a small, in a small finger, in each joint, there are something called, in terms of humanoid robots, I'm trying to explain it. There are actuators. Okay. And this process, called inverse kinematics, involves complex mathematical calculations that take into account the robot's geometry and the desired end effector pose. Because at the end of the day, how it poses, its positions, I'm talking about its positions, changing of the positions, and the movement, and how smooth the movement is, whether it's like a human or not, whether it's like a machine or a human. A machine's movement is rigid, but when a human moves, I move, you move, he moves, she moves, they move. That's very smooth movement, isn't it? Even on the bed, perhaps. And finally, the motion planning and trajectory generation. I talked about it in my previous videos, but still I want to recapitulate in a few sentences. Once the joint angles are determined, the controller plans the robot's movement trajectory. Trajectory is very important concept. If you have not watched that video, and if you are eager to know that, please watch the previous videos. Taking into account factors like joint velocities, acceleration limits, obstacle avoidance, and a lot of other things. It ultimately ensures smooth and efficient movement while avoiding collisions. So you can understand that it's not a very easy task. It's a very complex process at the end of the day. But still, you are watching this because you are eager to know how it happens behind the curtain. So thanks for watching. Keep watching Wooden Slate, keep supporting Wooden Slate, and I need your support to do that. Why? I'll tell you later. Till then, stay safe and take care.